Welcome to today's live stream. It is Monday, February 20th, 2023. It's your boy Antoine Campbell. Like I promised you, we'll be going live Monday through Friday for the whole entire year, all the way up until December 31st. Sometimes you guys might not be here, but I'm always be here. Today I feel a little under the weather. I have a head cold. Took some medicine and I want to show up. My nose clogged. I don't even feel like talking today. But at the end of the day, I set this out to do this every day consistently, do the good and the bad, and I'm going to stick with that. Hopefully, you had an amazing weekend. Today is Monday Motivation. Like I said, we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different stuff today to motivate you and to get you going in your business. So Mondays, we do Monday Motivation. Tuesdays, we do lead generation. Wednesdays, we talk about different strategies. Thursdays, we talk about everything about your VAs. And then Fridays, we open it up to Q&A. So try your best not to miss the class. I know that, as the year progresses and the new year fades away, a lot of people are not going to be consistent. And what we mean by that is the happiness of, oh, yes, I'm going to start my business. Oh, yes, I'm going to do good, fades away. So right now, towards February and March, we're going to see a lot of people who routinely check in fade away. And that's perfectly normal. But if you want to be the 1% of the 1%, you got to get good at staying consistent and maintaining your consistencies, right? You got to know that it's going to be tough times ahead, right? And it's okay, right? If you can project tough times and you understand that tough times are coming and you can prepare for tough times, then it won't hit you as hard as you may think, right? And then you just got to continue to build and maintain your momentum. What I mean by build is continue to make sure you're hiring good quality people. Make sure that you're training with good quality people. Make sure that you're listening to your team's phone call. You're giving feedback. You're setting expectations. You're doing everything in your power so your business can move forward and generate a ton of money, right? If you're not doing that, you're definitely going to struggle, right? And let's talk about how to overcome challenges and roadblocks. So you might have some challenges right now. I know right now, let's say, for example, if you started fresh in January, your biggest challenge and roadblocks is the consistency of generating leads on a consistent basis and people that's actually interested, right? You get a lot of feedback from people saying that there's a lot of sellers out there that are not as interested. They just say, give me an offer. They don't seem motivated, this and that. And that's even with other businesses, right? You had to get a client that may be interested in your services. And then the minute you send them the invoice, they get cold feet or they need time to think about it. That's a normal part of your business, right? So what you got to do is you got to feed your business more leads and more people to talk to. So that way, when you talk to them, it's not like you feel that, oh my God, if this person don't do business with me, I can't make money. So the biggest overcomer of the struggle is to get more leads coming and get more interested prospects. How are you going to do that? You're going to focus on literally generating more people, right? You can do that by hiring more cold callers. You can do that by pulling more lists. You can do that by sending out more text messages. You can do that by paying for more Facebook ads. You can do that by creating content that's to your niche. Right. Let's say, for example, if you're in real estate, maybe you create a series of videos and run ads to them what to do if you're in pre-foreclosure. What's the best option for a person in pre-foreclosure with no equity? That'd be a great, interesting article for SEO. So if a person typing to sell my house in foreclosure, if you're ranking them keywords to say, what am I going to do for if I'm in pre-foreclosure, I have no equity? If your article pops up and then you give them a call to action and, call us and see how we can help you, you're going to do a whole lot better. So my biggest thing is making sure that you are focusing on everything in front of you so that way you won't struggle. My back-end team, do me a favor and share this out to my Facebook group, Virtual Hacks and Secrets. We're going to bring that group back online and really start to be active with that group. We have over 10,000 people there, and we want to make sure that we're helping that group as much as possible. But like I said, in order to survive, you got to understand that your business is going to struggle. And once your business struggles, what are some of the contingencies and the plans that you're going to make in order to get ahead? One of the best things you can do is invest in leadership training to help you get through the hard times, because you can't just be a disciplined employee running a business. Some of you guys are straight good employees that came into real estate and now you're running a business, but you're going to run into some, booby traps and some fall traps and some obstacles because there wasn't nothing taught to you how to be an effective entrepreneur when it comes to the struggle and the problems. And the biggest struggle and problem is consistency and lead generation. And then I think the last issue is money. You can do a lot with limited to no money if you're willing to do the work. Example, if you want to virtually drive for dollars, you can pull a list like that, and then you can just individually skip trace people with True Finder or $20 a month app like that. Some of you guys don't want to do that. But then when we come out with a product or service, like a skip tracer that's literally cheaper than anything out here, then you guys drag your feet about that. So the issue isn't the tools and the resources, it's your lack of motivation to understand these tools and resources, right? See, some people think that I deserve and I want a 3 to 5 deal a month wholesale operation, but they don't understand the work and the tenacity that it's going to take to get to 3 to 5 deals a month. That's a lot to ask for. A lot of follow calls, a lot of making offers, a lot of just being consistent. And if you're not willing to stay consistent Monday through Sunday, every single week, 365 days a year, you're not going to get far. I told the guy the other day that called me, and literally we don't even do these consultation calls, but sometimes I just be nice. And when you set up an appointment with us, it's a call for you to figure out what could we help you in your business, and you're prepared to spend money with us. So that's why we do these YouTube lives and stuff to answer your questions. But he booked the call anyway. Long story short, the guy, I'm gonna be honest, and I tell him this to his face, I don't think he has what it takes to continue this business. I don't think he has the tenacity and the understanding that it's going to take a lot of work, right? It's going to take a lot of hustle, a lot of grind. You can read, you can watch all my videos, you can watch anybody else's videos, you can pay for anybody's course. But if it's not in here in your heart and your gut, and you're not willing to put in the work every single day and just roll your sleeves up and put your head down without complaining, this might not be for you. And I told him on the phone Friday, and I said, listen, it's okay if it's not for you. There's plenty of other things you can do outside of here than just be focusing on, So my whole point is sticking to the plan. I understand that rough seas make great sellers. If you just got your boat sitting at the dock or the marina, you chilling like, yeah. And what I mean by that is if you just got your VAs and y'all just making a few calls and y'all not really doing much, then you're not going to get the experience you need to get the amount of deal flow that you're looking for. Example, if you have a pre-foreclosure list, example, right? And you only calling that list maybe once a quarter, twice a quarter, you're not going to see much results from that. See, the money is made in a follow-up. And that's what we've been preaching to you guys over the last 4 years is if you're not willing to follow up multiple times, and I didn't keep score how many times you follow up, you may have to follow a person 15 times to get them to answer the phone just because that's just what it is. There's no logical explanation on why it takes a person 15, 20 touches to get in touch with them. That's just the way it is. And once you accept that and you know that every day I got to continue to do my job, whether I'm seeing results or not, and you don't know when you're going to wake up and get what, that's just what wholesaling is. So wholesaling is the ability to be consistent even when no one is looking, right? So that's one of the things that I want to encourage you guys to do is stay consistent and stay with your follow-ups, even if no one's looking, even if you feel like the person isn't as serious as you would like them to be. Sometimes you have to let time be the benefit factor of you doing a deal with somebody, right? Example, if you just pick up a bottle of wine that was just bottled maybe 3 weeks ago, it's not going to be ready. It's not going to taste good. It's not going to have that bitterness or that sweetness you're looking for or that crispness or that earthy aroma, whatever the case is. There's so many wines, But if you allow that wine to age with time, it gets better and better. And that's the same thing that applies to lead generation. If you allow and continue to follow up with a person, allow them, at some point they're going to become a motivated seller. It's just when. We don't know. And the only way to know that is to just be at the right place at the right time. Who agree with that? The only way I can know that a prospect is ready to sell to me today is not the list, right? It's not the skip tracing. It's none of that bullshit. That's just like complementary pieces to what you do. It's been at the right place at the right time. Right? How could you get a $30,000 deal, $50,000 deal, and you out hustle the guys to spending $50,000 a month in PPC? It's because you got one of them deals that they supposed to have because you stay more consistent than them. Maybe that lead was given to a newbie investor, and the big wholesaling company wasn't really paying attention to it as much. And you was just a little more consistent with that person. You was more charming, you was more direct, you was more transparent, and you was more honorable to the point that the seller say, yo, this is the person I want to sell my house to. Even though this other company been following up with me for the last 8 months. So you got to understand that you don't get paid to read people's minds. You can't assume that, yo, this person not going to sell my offer. This offer too low. This offer don't make sense. I don't, this is what they're going through. I don't think they'll take this. I don't think they'll move this. I don't think they'll do that. You don't know what someone may do. So you have to give them a benefit of doubt and give them a clean slate in order for that to be possible. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing I want to encourage you guys to stay consistent. Don't assume shit. Don't read people's minds, and be at the right place at the right time, right? If you follow that little stuff that I'm teaching you guys, I'm here to tell you, you're going to see great results. There's no doubt in my mind that you're not going to see great results because you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And that's the biggest thing. So, quick question. Where you guys are watching from? It's Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. What have you accomplished over the weekend? Maybe you pulled a new list. Maybe you listened to some videos. Maybe you got motivated and now you want to try different things. Mondays is the days that you set the expectation for what you want for the week. So today you should be meeting with your VAs. Today you should be checking in with your VAs. Today you should be doing some type of training. If you don't have time to train, then put your VAs in our VA Mastery Premium where you pay $97 a month per VA and we train them twice a week for you. We work with them twice a week. We help them out twice a week. We build them up twice a week. We do the things that you can't do. So if you're interested in that, go to va.co929.com/premium and we'll take good care of you. But like I said, it's going to take a lot for you guys to understand that this business is built. Oh yeah, added another cash buyer today. Hey, we got, you got a lot going on, brother. I got some leads I got to call too from Jacksonville. And then helping one of my one-on-one clients. We working on a portfolio deal up in Panama City, Florida, up in the Panhandle. So I'm going to be busy for the next 2 days, I guess. But like I say, guys, you gotta be consistent. You gotta be willing to invest in your team. You gotta be willing to, go to the next level. And what I mean by go to the next level, do the things that you're supposed to do, even when no one's looking. Invest in yourself. Invest in your business. Invest in your VAs. Give them the things and the tools and the resources that they need to be successful. Maybe that's a better power dollar. Maybe instead of you dialing a single line, you give them a triple line or a double line dollar. Maybe instead of you just giving them, foreclosure leads, you give them different types of leads, right? We're working on getting, I'm testing out the obituary list. So once I test it out and I see if I like it, then I'll make that available to you guys. We're restructuring the whole Easy Skip Tracing company so that the Easy Skip Tracing company will basically turn into, I think it's Prospect Vote. So Prospect Vote would take on the skip tracing, and it'll be customized tailored skip tracing where you submit your list and we give you back the lead skip trace. Or if we don't have a list, we give you the list and the lead skip trace. It's going to be between 4 and 6 cents per record. And then sometimes we still do our flash sales, but we're about to slow up on the flash sales. We felt like we gave that enough to a lot of people. Now it's time to make it an actual profitable business. So if you're interested in getting leads and lists for 4 cents a record, the cheapest you're going to get them, reach out to us as we relaunch the Easy Skip. Well, the Easy Skip has been faded away, and Prospect Vote will take on the whole lead generation and skip tracing side. What's up, Anne? Anne from Canada. Hope all is well. Any more? Drop your questions, guys. I want you to drop your questions. Like I said, today is Monday motivation. The way you start your week out is the way that you're going to, see success. So if you start your week out slow, and drowsy, then that's how your week will probably end up finishing. But if you start your week out a little more on the upbeat side, a little more motivated, then you're going to be good to go. Have that pep talk with your cold callers before you let them go on their phones. Hey guys, I need one this week. I need a good contract this week. Man, do me a solid, give me a contract. Have that talk with yourself. No matter how busy I get, I'm going to follow up with the prospects that was given to me. The biggest issue I see with all of my clients, not saying all of them, but the biggest issue out of the whole group of people we work with is that there's no one consistently following the leads that was presented to them. Because once again, they assume that, oh, this ain't a good lead. They assume that this person won't take my offer. They assume that this person wouldn't listen to what I got to say. You don't know until you get that person a call and figure out exactly how can you help them. You know what I mean? So like I said, one of my clients, he called. He was very persistent. He got one house to guy to agree, and kind of find out this guy got 12 houses he looking to liquidate. So, we're going to help him. We're going to try to sell all the houses with him. He's going to make a ton of money, right? So what he paid me is a fraction of what he invested in himself with the program he's enrolled in. So he's going to make probably 8 times more than he paid me. Plus, he still got me as his consultant. Plus, he's still able to book a call me, and I can help him and all that good stuff. Watts was listening to Max podcast, and he made a suggestion with one of his guests to stop putting his real estate journal IG so people call me. Yeah, definitely. Accountability, document. We call that documenting the process. I definitely recommend it. People hold you accountable, and then you're able to go back and look and see what you did. You know what I mean? So just record, talk about it, share your meetings. Obviously, you want to block out any sensitive information when you're talking to a person. Make sure you have somebody that can edit, or you can block out their names, their emails, anything that they're talking about that's sensitive. Because you do have people out here that will go out and literally call the people behind your back and try to steal a deal from you. Because it's just, that's the type of society we live in. We live in a small society where people have minimum mindsets. So I definitely recommend you documenting that journey. There's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, just focus on the task at hand, guys. Stay consistent, stay motivated, and get your team high quality training. Focus on what you got going on. Don't let these little iceberg problems, sink the ship. You can avoid these iceberg problems by forecasting ahead, knowing that if I knew that I'm going to have issues this week, how can I deal with these issues, all right? If I know I'm going to have issues with my employees, how can I address the issues? If I know I'm going to have issues with my lead generation, what should I be doing extra to fix my lead generation? So, like I said, in business, you get paid for problem solving. You get paid for, being able to think outside the box and bring solutions to people. That's what business is. If you look at any business, that's what it is. So let's look at what could be an example? Amazon, for example. Amazon, the reason why they got so big is because they solved a problem that most people didn't know they had. Most people don't have the time to go shopping. Most people don't have the time to go to the mall anymore. Most people don't have that disposable time to go to the mall and spend 3 hours at the mall just to pick up one thing. But when Amazon came about, it allowed people to get their package the same day, next day, and it be delivered to the house consistently and safe and secure and with a proven structure. And then people just start to adapt that to their everyday life. So when you be consistent enough, you're going to adapt to it. So it takes 21 days to create a habit. So if you're consistently following up, right, with your clients, you're going to have a habit of following up. Damn, I need to follow today between 1 to 3. Damn, I need to do this and I need to do that. Your mind's going to tell you that you need to do this. Even when you go live, it's a habit now. So I have to go live, right? I would love to go upstairs and sit in my bed and ride this cold out and drink me some hot tea and just close my eyes and relax and mellow. But I understand that I have a job to do. I understand that this is what I signed up for. I understand I have to show up. So when you admit to yourself that, I got to show up, I got to do what's necessary, even if nobody's watching, because the results are going to tell on me that if I'm doing good or bad, then you got to show up. She said, I can see how that can help me put a fire in my belt. But shoot, people be all in my business. They're going to be in your business regardless. They're going to talk about whether you're doing good or bad. So you might as well just make money in the process. That's how I look at things. People going to talk about me whether I'm doing good or bad. People That's just what it is. Now, are they ever gonna come to me and say that to me how they feel? I doubt it. There's no one who came to me like a man and said, "Yo, this is how I feel. This is the reason why I stopped speaking to you." Because they don't have the heart to do that. They're not, I'm not saying they're not a man, but that's just not what they're used to doing. People just stop speaking to you just because. So at the end of the day, you might as well do what you got to do because they're gonna feel some type of way about you anyway. So go in there and show your You don't have to be so openly about it. Just show a little small piece. Show that you're meeting with your team. Show that you want an acquisition call. Show that you're planning for the week ahead. Just show that transparency. So when you go back and look at your stories, your Facebook stories and all that from a year or two ago, you can see the progression you made in your business. This is about you. It ain't about nobody else. This is about you and you being selfish enough to make you a priority. And when you can take care of you and you can help you out, then you can take care of others, right? They say on the plane, if this plane decide to go down or this cabin get decompressurized, put your mask on first before helping others. Because how you going to help others when you blacked out and you suffering from lack of oxygen to your brain? Now you're dead on the floor. So help yourself first and then go help others. That's my attitude. Yeah, and then just consistency, right? Consistency and the follow-up. Most people fail at this business because they talk to a seller twice and say, "Oh, they're not serious." And they forget about them instead of just making that relationship where you just getting used to talking to people. Like I said, this business is a people's person business. So if you don't like people and you don't like talking to people on a consistent basis, strangers off the street, you might not make it, right? You might want to go do something where you're not dealing with people directly, right? Wholesaling is definitely a business that involves, personal relationships, creating personal connections with people so you guys can do business together. That's the only reason why it is what it is. So at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself: am I doing enough in my company to be where I want to be? Am I making enough follow calls? Am I actually listening to my prospects to be able to give them a solution to help them in their direct situation? Or if I'm a surface level, I'm just making just enough calls, and nobody won't question me if I'm still in business. Or if I'm literally just showing up maybe twice a week instead of 5 days a week. Imagine if you double or triple your efforts right now. When you agree that you'll do a little bit better in your business, if you double or triple your efforts. So if you're making 5 calls a day, 5 follow-up calls a day, if you turn that to 25 follow-up calls a day, when you agree that you'll accelerate the results just a little bit quicker. If your VAs go from calling 50 people an hour to 100 people an hour, when you agree that you may get a few extra more leads on a weekly basis. So the easiest thing to do to improve your business overnight is to double up on everything you're doing that's working sufficiently. Now, I wouldn't double up on something that's ineffective. So all you're going to do is to burn right through whatever that is. So double up on the things that you're doing that's working sufficiently in your business, and I guarantee you it'll drive more results even better to your business. So we're going to slow down here. Any questions you guys had, drop your questions. I can't wait till tomorrow. We have a good episode tomorrow as well. Tomorrow we talk about lead generation, so I'm definitely going to give you some good information about lead generation.
Got a question.
Go
Can you hear
ahead.
me?
I can hear.
Yeah. So, this is something that I've seen on an email. What are some strategies for staying motivated over the long term, even when faced with setbacks or challenges?
You want me to give you a surface level answer, or you want to give the brutally honest truth?
It could be our, conversation piece in this podcast.
The thing is, there's nothing like it's hard for you to get something or somebody to motivate you. It have to be inside of you already. You have to want it so bad that your body automatically readjusts to what it is to stay motivated, right? Example: if you're working on a goal to lose weight, and then in 2 weeks go past, you decide to go back and eat cheeseburgers and drink milkshakes, and there's nothing in your body saying, "Hey, what you're doing is wrong. We're supposed to be working towards this. Let's get back on track and eat right." You're not as hungry or motivated as you thought to lose weight, right? So I tell people that if you're doing something and you're truly passionate about it and your heart, your soul, your mind is into it, not just for the money, you're going to be put in a situation that even if things get hard and you feel like you're losing motivation, all you got to do is think about why you're doing it, and that should be enough motivation to get you back on track. And if that's not enough motivation, then you may be doing the wrong things. You may want to switch up what you're doing. It's not too late to start over. It's not too late to go back and say, yo, real estate wasn't for me for right now. Let me find something else I'm passionate about.
Gotcha. And it's a goal for long term anyway. It's just that when there's a setback or some challenges that you're currently facing, you just have to face it, correct?
Exactly.
And then another thing is, like, let's say because you're a leader of your business, right? And as a boss, this goes for like everyone who actually has like a virtual assistant. When the going gets tough, right? Sometimes you sort of like loses yourself as well in like a moment, but you're facing sort of like a challenge, and then your virtual assistants are always asking you questions from at that time. How would you actually pivot yourself to be able to face them in a way that you want them to face them, if that makes sense, like as a leader?
As a leader, man, you first in charge. So if you fold and they see weakness in you, then they're not gonna believe in you. And that's when you see people jump ship. People like, I'm out of here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hold up. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna resign. And when they see that uncertainty in you, of course they're not gonna have certainty in the company. So you always got to be selling a dream. This is where we're going. You always got to be forecasting the future and pitching and selling to your organization and your team that this is where we need to go, and talk to them about this is where I'm trying to go, and I want you guys a part of that. When you include people into your dreams and what you got going on, I'm telling you, they become believer in your organization. They want to work with you. They want to ride the storm with you, and they're going to do business with you through the good and the bad. Hanging with the max eggs. I suggest waking up every day and listening to motivational videos for 15 minutes for everyone struggling with consistency. Yeah, motivational videos. Wake up. One of the biggest things you can do is put something on your phone that reminds you every time you open your phone of what you're trying to become or what you're aspiring to do. Whether that's a picture of a dream car, picture of your dream house, picture of your dream vacation, picture of $100,000 cash, $1,000,000 cash, picture of you somebody laying on the opera room table getting a tummy tuck, whatever that is. I don't know. Everyone has different driving points to motivate them in their life. So use that as fuel to be able to push you through the good and the bad to get to where you want to be in life. Say I'm just starting off with my first four VAs. How long should I wait to scaling up? If you start off with four VAs, you just want to have a budget. You want to have a runway of how much money you have saved, or how much money you can be willing to pay them until you become profitable by doing deals consistently. And then after you start doing deals consistently, you feel good. Then you make that plan to scale up. Hire a coach, hire a business consultant, and get them to consult with you about a good, effective way to scale your business up. I wouldn't just recklessly scale my business because I have a few $1,000s in the bank. I would be disciplined about it because business is a consistent sport. You got to be consistent at what you're doing in order to make the money that you want to make. And if you're not, because maybe you get a deal once every 3 months, then I wouldn't want to hire any more people because that they'll be eating away at the money and the liquidity that I have saved. So I need to figure out how to get a deal, 2 deals a month, 3 deals a month before I even hire my next person. Any more questions? This is a good live stream today. I definitely see some new faces on here. I definitely see some new faces on here. Do me a favor and like and subscribe to our channel. That would be greatly appreciated. And we'll go from there. I'm about to wrap it up in the next 2 minutes. I'm gonna answer just a few more questions, so drop your questions as soon as possible. It all depends. I like cold calling first, just so we can see, if we can get as many people on the phone as cheaply as possible. SMS can be very expensive, especially if you don't have, um, if you don't have like the capital to continue to text, 3, 4 thousand people a day. You gotta understand when you send that first text out, sometimes you are actually exchanging texts back and forth. So you may budget for 1,000 people to text a day, but in reality, you're texting like 20% of 1,000 people back 3 to 5 times. So that can literally drive your cost by another, 80 to 100%. So that's why I like cold calling better because you know what you're getting, you know what you're paying for, and you know how many dollars a VA can make. Any more questions? But I do want to say this one thing, right? For the people who just starting this business, don't expect that shit gonna happen for you overnight. For the people who get a VA or hire a lead generation service, don't expect for them to come and be your knight in shining armor. You got to take the good with the bad. You got to understand that some people business take a little longer to see results than the other people, and as an entrepreneur, it's your fault. You can't point the finger. I don't. When things go wrong in any of my businesses, you never see me run on Facebook and cry about nothing because I understand that it's an investment, and your investment can be lost and washed away. And it's not no one's fault or someone scamming you or whatever the case may be. That's just business. So I want you guys to understand. Most of you guys are brand new, never ran a business before. It's not all sweet and green. So when you had a job and your boss paid you consistently every 2 weeks, that was a blessing. And entrepreneurship, you may go 3 to 4 months without making another dollar from deal to deal. You got to ask yourself the question: is that something you want to put up with? Is that something that you can stomach and deal with? And if the answer is no, get out right now. Don't even do it. Because you're going to see more bad days than good days. I guarantee you that. That's just the way this shit works. That's the only reason why it's only a handful of people that's successful in this. How can hundreds of thousands of people start this every single month and a handful of them people actually see the results? Ask yourself that question. So ask yourself that question. But other than that, guys, listen, we're going to be back here tomorrow. I'm going to give you another 1 minute to drop any extra questions you may have. I see tomorrow we're going to be talking about all things lead generation. Do you have any suggestions to more accurate data than prop string? There's a bunch of places. Check your local county records, guys. Go to your cities and see what list they have, the sure sales list, pre-foreclosure list, all these different lists, and then just find your good skip trace provider. What's your hardest challenge for getting started? Getting started, just figuring out what to do and do it consistently. So people have an idea about cold calling, but cold calling is an art. So you got to understand how to cold call, what's the best time to cold call, what's the best list to cold call, where to get the data from, all of that good stuff. So once you figure that stuff out, guys, you're going to be good to go and your business is going to be up and running. But another thing is just most people lack of capital. You're getting started. People say you can do this business without money. Tell them to prove it. Outside of going to go work hard or knock on doors, I can't really see you doing this business without capital. So making sure that you, invest in your credit, extracting money from your credit, getting a credit card, or go work an extra job so you can have the capital to continue to push your business forward. That's what I suggest everybody do. Other than that, man, I'll talk to you guys later.